men's, we sold it for full asking price of $80 and sold it pretty quick. Actually, too. That's a bolo to look out for. Hey guys, it's Poochie. Today we're going to talk numbers. We're going to talk about what sold on eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, etc. And we're going to talk about sell-through rate. A lot of sellers talk about sell-through rate as though it is the grail. It is the most important thing when you are purchasing items to resell on eBay. So, is that true? Is sell-through rate really the most important thing? Well, let's talk about it and let's see what actually sold on eBay. This week was interesting. We did okay, about the same, a little bit better than last week, but what killed us was Tuesday. I don't know what everybody was doing on the 9th of January, but they were not buying our clothing on eBay, because we sold like $38 worth of stuff, and that includes postage, which was crazy. So sales are going up. Let's talk about goals. Let's talk about what our goals were this week. If you watched the last few weeks of this new series that I'm doing, the goals have been to optimize eBay inventory titles, photos, and pricing. So we've continued that. When you have, about 5,000 items in your eBay store, it takes a while to do that. So we're still working on that. We've come a long way. Also listing inventory on other platforms. Little by little, we're doing that. We're actually listing so much on eBay now, so much new product, and have upped the amount of listings per day that we're doing, that it's been hard to keep up with the relisting on the other platforms. You know, when you're listing 30 or 40 items a day and you're outsourcing 30 to 40 items a day, well, not a day, but, for the week, it gets hard to list CrossList on other platforms, but we are doing it little by little. Continue building better inventory. That was a goal. That's a continuous goal that's going to be for the whole year. So we've been doing that and get to 13,000 on this account in the 90-day sale mark, which we made just by the skin of our teeth. Just barely. So we did make all the goals this week, which is awesome. It's really important to set goals and have kind of like something to aim for. If you don't set goals, if you don't set, they don't have to be extremely specific goals, but if you don't set general goals about what you want to get accomplished in the week, it's harder to find a direction. So I find it easier if you set goals to have a direction for yourself, and if you have also a staff and they know the rules or the goals as well. So a lot of sellers talk about sell-through rate, and sell-through rate is really important. A lot of sellers want to have items sell within 90 days. I'm sorry, the birds are going crazy. So let's go over to eBay and see what we did. The week is for January 8th through January 14th, otherwise known as Elvis's birthday week. Yeah, that is what we call it here. So you see here, Tuesday just absolutely slaughtered us. It was a $35.77 day. I do believe 2 items sold, and one of them might have been one of our $5 blowout items, because we have those too. So let's look at the actual numbers. Like I said, we haven't been listing much on Poshmark, Mercari, Etsy, Depop, very little. I don't think we've even listed on Grailed. Unfortunately, I don't think we have anything on the website yet. And I keep saying, we're going to list stuff. So that is one goal that has been failed completely. But we are going to try list on website. See, now it's a goal. I've written it down. So if you want anything, if you want to shop our store, you can go to Poochie's Pickers, poochiespack.com. It's the same website, and use the code YouTube at checkout to get 25% off. Okay, so let's look at the numbers. We sold a few more than last week, 3 more items than last week. The average sale price went down, I think, a couple dollars. Now, that is because rather than just pulling old stuff from inventory, we just marked it down. So we have a whole section of eBay now, our eBay store, that is $5 items, just to blow it out, get rid of it, take the money, reinvest it in new items. Gross sales were $1,192.36. Shipping $265.42. Selling fees $153.27. I do promoted listings on this account, $102.77, which may seem like a lot, but for a clothing account, it's kind of like, I feel like I like to do promoted listings in order to grow the account, because that's the goal this year, is growing sales. Not only the number of items, which isn't necessarily that important, growing sales is much more important, so we're focused on that. Cost of goods went up. We had some better items, and plus, when you're selling items for $5, blowing them out, your cost of goods kind of raises, as opposed in relation to the amount you're selling the item for. So it was $114. Net profit $556.90, which is down, but that's fine, because we want to blow out some of these items, and the net profit's going down because the cost of goods is going up. That's fine. This was, I feel like, an off week, especially since Tuesday. I don't even know what happened on Tuesday. Everybody was not buying clothes on eBay. So just as a reminder, this is our clothing account on eBay, Poochie's Pickers. Let's get into the numbers. And again, nothing sold on any of the other platforms last week. We did have a sale on Etsy. This week, we didn't. We're really focused on eBay and just getting stuff on eBay. So what we're doing, we're listing new items, but we're also ending a lot of items, and then we're optimizing the titles, the photos, and the pricing, and we're doing similar to make it a completely new listing. So a lot of the stuff, as we're doing that, is selling right away. A lot of it's getting watchers right away, which is great. So let's look at some of these. The On Cloud shoes, we've had these forever. We sold them for $30, but man, we've had them a long time. This is a really cool vintage t-shirt. Okay, I had it marked at $139.99. That's very high for what it is. I was aiming for the moon. Somebody actually offered $35, and I went, oh man, that's so okay. Because literally paid a couple bucks for it. So I was fine with that. The Arc'teryx shirt, I hope that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure. Men's, we sold it for full asking price of $80 and sold it pretty quick, actually, too. That's a bolo to Arc'teryx brand. Hard Rock Cafe shirt, this sold for $20, Hard Rock New Orleans. Some people don't list Hard Rock shirts because they are possibly a Vero item. I don't know, but I list them and have never had a problem. This sold for $25, the vintage Hawaiian Tropic. I actually got this specifically because of this huge parrot in the back. It's a beautiful, beautiful t-shirt. I'm not sure the date, but it is a single stitcher. And in case you don't know, that's one way to tell vintage t-shirts. If they have a single stitch on the arms and or on the bottom, the waist area of the shirt. It doesn't mean necessarily that it's definitely vintage if it's single stitch. It doesn't mean that it's definitely not vintage if it's double stitch. It just depends, but that's a good way to know when items are vintage. This sold pretty quick. Full asking price of $50, San Francisco Yacht Club t-shirt. the vintage Ralph Lauren. So it's vintage. I'm not sure how old it is, but when you see the silver lettering, all the new ones now have the gold lettering, so the older ones are the silver lettering. So that sold for $25, and it has the denim collar. So that's why I priced it a little bit higher. I thought it was cool. Carhartt, $29.99. We've been selling a lot of Carhartts lately. The Polo Ralph Lauren hat sold for a little over $40. We've had it a couple months. Ralph Lauren sweater sold for $30. This is just, I think, a Pepsi work shirt, and it sold for $20. We got it at the bins for like probably maybe $1. The Clark shoes sold for $30. Dollywood sweatshirt. This was cool. I sold it for $20. Not sure how much, how old it was, but I kind of priced it up at $29.99, and somebody offered $20, and I took it. North Face. This one sold for $30. Florida State. Yeah, I sold this one cheap. I sold it for $16 because I had it quite a long time, and Florida State kind of, farted and fell, as my mother likes to say, in the college playoffs, or I don't know, they didn't, or they got screwed out of it, I don't know, but college football season was over, so I sold it for $16, and it was fine. I paid $2 for it, I think. Excuse me. Indiana Colts jersey, sold it for $30. I paid $8. And I like this vintage. Now, it didn't sell for much. Okay, it sold for like $15, I think. But this is so cool. Vintage 1970s JCPenney shirt with, I don't know what you call those, dagger collar. The dagger collar, I don't know. They're like, anyway, a cool vintage piece. So that is the weekly sales. Not that great. And I'm gonna tell you, we're hopeful for more this week though, because we're really revving up the amount of listings that we're doing a day. We're going to a minimum of 30 listings every single day. So hopefully we're going to get 50 in a day. We will see. I don't know if we can source that much. We'll have to find out, I guess. But I want to talk to you about this item specifically. Let's talk sell-through rate. Okay. So this only sold for $18 or for $15, right? But if you have an item, is sell-through rate that important if you have an item that's worth more but takes longer to sell? So if I have this hat, okay, and this hat has let's say it has a 12-month sell-through rate, okay, so this hat probably is not going to sell for 12 months. I'm going to keep it, right? It's not going to sell. I'm going to have to store it. I have to pay to store it, but it sells for $100. Is it better to have that hat than a hat that will sell for $35 within 90 days? It's kind of up to you, because it depends on how much you've invested in the hat, how much you have into it, how much space you have. Are you in a hurry to get your money back from the hat? Do you need things that sell really quick because you need the money out of them, either to grow or pay your bills with? Having a longer sell-through rate is not always a bad thing. I will take a $100 hat that takes a year to sell. Absolutely. I will take a $200 leather jacket that takes 15 months to sell. I mean, I don't want to, but I will. But I won't do that if I have $50 into that jacket, right? Because if I have $50 into that jacket, I'm going to want to move it and sell it quicker. So the more you invest in an item, in a product, let's say my little big ass fan donkey. Isn't he cute? He's cute, right? Let's say I invest $20 into him. Okay? I'm going to want him to sell quicker than if I invested $2 into him. So sell-through rate is all relative, I feel like. It depends on how much you've invested in the item, what your payoff is going to be, how much room you have to store things, etc. So if you have a lot of room to store things, you have a lot of money to invest in the items that you're selling, you might not mind paying $20 for my big ass fans donkey. But if you want to move it quickly because you want to get your money out of it and reinvest your money into other things, then you're going to want to focus on items that have faster sell-through rates. Items with longer sell-through rates are an investment. Okay, so this has a quick sell-through rate, right? Bam, I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm going to make $35 on this donkey I paid $5 for. And this hat I paid $5 for also, but I'm going to have to wait a year for it to sell, but it's going to sell for $100. Okay? So high sell-through rate isn't always everything. I will invest $5 in an item that I have to wait a year to make $100 from. Okay? But not everybody is able to do that, so it kind of depends on you. But don't make sell-through rate be everything, because if you have enough room to store things, if you have little enough into your investment in something, you can hold it longer to make more, to get your money out of it. You understand? You can, if I have $1 or $2 into this hat, it's going to be a lot easier to hold on to it for a whole year than if I have $20 into it. Because if I have $20 into it, then I have, 100 items in my store that each have, $20. I've invested $20, and that's $2,000. So it adds up. If you are buying low enough and you are buying inexpensively or cheaply enough, then you can hold items longer if you have the room to store them. So I hope that helps. Sell-through rate is not everything. Remember that. I hope you liked the video. Remember to check out Poochie's Pickers for the picking videos. I'm going to tell you something. This is a secret. I don't like the word picking, but that's what it is. I don't like to use it, but that's what it is. So if you like picking videos, go over to Poochie's Pickers and check it out. If you like more business-related videos like this one, make sure you like this one. Comment if you have any questions, or tell me what you think about how important sell-through rate is. And remember to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you can get notified of more videos like this. Okay? We keep it real here. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and happy Martin Luther King Day.